It looks like rain. I better check the weather for the track meet. South 7th Science Weebly.com.
We have breaking news from South 7 Science Storm Weather Alert. Here we have South 7 Science meteorologist Mr. Jay Bingman to tell us about the status of the storm.
Well, it's a really bad storm right now coming in. I'm going to go to the green screen and show you exactly what's coming at us on the radar.
Oh, no.
Actually, it's okay, Mr. Frintner.
Yeah, it's a bad storm, but it's not as bad as you think for the track meet. Let me show you what I mean by that. Yeah, we had some beautiful sunny weather the last couple days, but as you can see, it was very inevitable that that's going to come to an end. We've got this cold air mass moving in from Canada. It's creating some storms for us. You can see the radar, very, very strong rains coming down on us, coming very soon. Like I said, this was inevitable, though. We had that warm, sunny weather, the sunshine beating down on that ground. The ground absorbs the sunshine, and that makes the ground heat up. That evaporates the water out of the ground. Now the air there is touching that ground. It transfers some of its heat energy to the air above it, as well as some of that moisture. So we've got some warm, humid air here. Now over here in Canada, we've had some snow still on the ground. So the sun's rays have been reflecting off. The air there still stayed very cold. That air's moving into our area now. A cold front is rolling in.
So just to recap, when the sun's light energy is absorbed by the ground, that energy is going to be converted into thermal energy. Then that thermal energy in the ground needs to be transferred into the air. And this process, as we know, is called conduction.
So this warm, humid air is going to get less dense. Warm air, humid air, less dense than the air around it. So it's going to float up. That's going to make it go up, lose pressure. On the other hand, that cold, dry air from Canada is sinking, making it very high pressure.
Remember that those warm air particles are less dense. That means that the particles are actually physically further apart from each other, while cold air are more dense particles, and that means that the particles are physically closer together or more densely packed.
So this downward moving cold dense air is going to sink. Hot air rising there. This is going to create a flow where the air here is going to slide in to take its place. This is our surface winds blowing across the plains. Meanwhile, up in the upper atmosphere, that rising air is going to come back over to replace the cold air. That's our upper atmosphere winds. We get this whole circular motion of winds going. We call that convection.
Now remember that we have two vocabulary terms that are very similar. Conduction is about the transfer of thermal energy from the ground into the air, versus convection is the cycling of the updraft to the upper winds to the downdraft and the surface winds. That cycling is known as convection.
So since we have that cold air sinking, that's creating area here of high pressure. On the other hand, over here where we've got that warm, moist air from today, it's been rising, it's creating low pressure. Now as that warm, moist air loses pressure and goes up, that's when the clouds form and they come across in the upper winds, crossing the front line to this cold air, which is going to force them to give up their moisture and rain on us.
Now keep in mind that high in the atmosphere we have low pressure, which causes clouds to condense. But in addition, we heat from the ground up. So the higher up you go in the sky, it is also colder. Cold air can hold less water vapor, which also helps to make clouds.
And that's where you got to watch this front line. That's really important. This front line is the wall between that cold air and the warm air. That's where they battle it out, and that's where the storms form.
Now remember, the front has to be on a slant because that warm air needs to be floating on top of the cold air, and that cold air is wedging and lifting up the warm air, which creates even more of an updraft that can help cause a big storm.
So, will the meet be canceled? Do I need to call it off?
Well, I think that we should assure Mr. Frintner that things are going to be okay.
That's right, it is. Even though you see that big storm coming down on us right now, it's being driven by a cold front that's moving in. That cold air is high pressure air coming in to replace it. We'll be under the influence of a high pressure system just as soon as this storm passes through, and just in the next hour, your track meet will be just fine.
So everything, Mr. Frintner, will be okay.
Oh, thank you so much, Ms. Wong and Mr. Bingaman.